Hi, you guys. It's your favorite, and I am back. This time, I have a channel message, and y'all, I've been sitting on this message for like the past 2 or 3 days because I was like, oh, this so messy. I really don't want my page to be filled with a mess, but it is what it is, and I gotta put it out there what I get. So, the title of this channeled message is They Realized You Are Not the Enemy That They Want. And I got to add on a for real after that, okay? So, under my divine authority, this reading is protected from all low vibrational and fragmented and distorted energies. Only clarity, truth, and love is welcome here, okay? Even tough love, all right? Let's jump right into it. Yeah, I'm gonna pull some cards, but let me just tell you the downloads that I've been getting first. So I want my collective, and thank you to my collective and to my new subscribers. Also, welcome. Okay, welcome, welcome. Okay, but pay attention to patterns, pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to what is coming up, things that you haven't thought about. Sorry, y'all. I ain't ate. I hope y'all can't hear my stomach growling. But yeah, I ain't started cooking yet. Okay. Anyway, sorry. But that was such a distraction. Oh my gosh, pay attention to the things that are trying to distract you. Okay, but anyway, people that come back up that you ain't thought about in years, and all of a sudden they like pop up on your timeline, even if it's not that person. But I mean, like maybe the person has the same name as like one of your past enemies, or like the same zodiac sign or birthday. There's a similarity that you're going to see that's going to lead you back to your actual person that you viewed as an enemy. All right, the pattern that's coming up is that people are stuck in their head because they are being served karma, going through tons of heartbreak. Your enemies are in spiritual jail right now. All right. So if you have people wanting to apologize, wanting to reconcile, especially you got to watch out for people that's like preaching forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. There are a couple of spiritualists that I have noticed who I genuinely just am not fond of because we had a little rift back in the day where now, their focus is teaching their audience forgiveness, forgiveness. And, I get it as a touch point, but you keep talking about that because that's what you're going through. Like, baby, you're not fooling anyone. We know how this works. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, watch out for people doing that because I'm telling you now, they really want forgiveness in order to get out of this Eight of Swords energy. And I'm going to say this because you just have to use your critical thinking skills and trust your intuition. Yes, we know energy is on a spectrum. Yes, we know that some people really do change and that some people are really deserving of your grace and your mercy. We know that. But we're not talking about them right now, okay? Congratulations. Thank y'all for, doing your thing and sharpening up. And I love that. And I hope our future is bright together. But this is strictly for the people that we still don't like, okay? Because it's just so funny how it's like I've just been getting these inclinations where it's just like, there are a bunch of people who have been demoted. So you may see people like moving back to their hometowns when they used to, live somewhere else and super thriving and flexing everything that they got and saying, oh, you don't have this because of da 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 da. All of these people that came up around from like 2017 towards like 2022, 2023, you'll notice a mass regression. And this whole thing, people are saying like, oh, we're witnessing like a wealth transfer. And it's not just that. It's literally this whole concept of the first shall be the last, right? You're you're witnessing a balancing of the scales. And this is not to down the other people. Y'all know I like to joke a lot. I like to get a little messy, okay? But I'm really not downing people that are in a period of regression, because everybody plays their part and we all come here playing a role, and we just have to remember which role we play. But it's still funny. So I'm going to laugh, right? Anyway, doesn't mean that I don't think your grief is real, or I don't think your experience is not going to invalidate your experience. And let me tell you something. I already done been in the spiritual jail before. That's how I know. I ain't no, listen, I'm a bad girl, okay? I'm a bad girl. So this is why my brand is the balanced femme, because I have worked to achieve balance for years, 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 and years, balancing out my light and dark energies. So again, not making fun of it, but hey, I gotta give my collective, I gotta let them know what's up. Period. So anyway, um, you'll notice like these people regressing, like they're either moving back to their hometowns or wherever they come from. They giving back their cars, they're downsizing, they're selling their homes, they're y- all the things that they said. When they, it's cool when they do it, it's a problem when I do it, right? When it was you, it was because you was broke and all of this stuff and you ain't got it. And now that they got to make some of the same moves that you had to get over years ago, because now it's their turn. They want you to have grace and mercy. Well, no, remember when you was calling me broke? You remember that? I do. So now if I say the same thing to you because I'm up now I'm a bitch. Collective, the roles are reversing, and take the story how it resonates. I'm just trying to get you to see the mirror. That's it. It may not be your story exactly, but recognize the patterns and how this energy is playing out in your own life. Like I said, there's going to be a signal. There's going to be a sign where spirit goes beep, 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 look this way. And then there's going to be another beep, and you're going to keep looking. It's going to lead you right to where the origin is, that origin point where you were supposed to be looking in the first place. And it's so that you can witness the mirror dynamics, like where you're rising, they're falling. You're going to notice people being in the same patterns, the same time loops. Even if they're now have a different set of friends, it's just different characters, but the same energy. So these people, while you're realizing and seeing this contrast, guess what? Guess what, collective? Sorry, they also see the contrast, like, ooh, that girl I was talking about, she's in the spot that I was just in, that I was trying to fight to stay in, and I can't even get there no more. It's like the door is being closed. While the door is closing for this person, is for me, it's opening up for her. The roles are being reversed. Again, I keep hearing back then they ain't want me. Now I'm hot, they all on me. And you don't have to take this literal. You know, you might not even, this is just energetically what's going on, between now and especially, between now and February 2027, you're going to see this a lot. Okay. So just please pay attention. If you have like a dream journal, write down your dreams or what spirit is showing you, because spirit is revealing to you. If you don't know, collective, if you're in this collective, you won. I don't know what you won. I don't know what your battle was specifically. I would only know that through a personal reading, right? But overall, there's something that you won. Even if you were in a one-sided competition where you didn't even know that, this was a person that was doing that, and this is why they were doing that in a person. You're going to be finding out all of this. And people are, those people specifically who wanted to come up against you, who deemed themselves your enemy or as your competition, right? Who did all of this, who are now in this phase where it's like, I want the collective to let go of how they perceive me, how they view me, or maybe like a grudge, because for some reason they know, well, not for some reason, your name hold weight in the spirit. that means your judgment holds weight. See, a lot of us are earth angels and we are judges and people don't know it. So you start to figure out why people care about what you think about them. It's because, especially if you identify, if you know anything about human design, with especially with projectors are going to be really important within our society in the next couple of years, because projectors are here to guide. They amplify, they don't create their own energy. So projectors are the judges of this world. Okay, because what projectors do is that we come into the room, we assess a person and their energy, and we amplify their energy. So it's not whether something is good or bad, right? But if you are doing something bad, then you're that's going to be amplified, and those consequences are going to be amplified. Whether if you're a good person, that's going to be amplified by the projector, and those consequences are also going to be amplified, right? So you're really not doing anything. You're just showing another person themselves by simply being yourself, right? Your aura field does all of the amplifying automatically. Um, and people are really picking up, like, for some reason, they're like, yeah, your opinion holds weight, your name holds weight, and which is why they want your forgiveness. They want you to perceive them different so that you can change the trajectory that they're headed on. Because let me just tell you something. A lot of people, like, you just got two toes and two fingers in the spiritual jail. You ain't even got in deep yet, and you are already scrambling and shaking. Like, let it sit, let it marinate for a while, because you need it. You're also going to notice your people that wanted to use other people or use you to kind of shield themselves from their own consequences, because people can benefit off of you by proximity, benefit off your light, to be specific. You can cover people from their karma by allowing them to hang around you. You can. And so I think with the people that you have distanced yourself from, collective, they are realizing that, oh, I only got good results when I was attached to the collective. Why can't I generate these results on my own? People are putting respect on your name. They are being forced to realize that they were harvesting your energy. They were using your light. The whole time, you had somebody portraying themselves as the empress, saying that it was them in this energy when really it was you. They were cloaking themselves in your energy, collective. And now they are being forced to realize it. Their own peers are being forced to realize it, and they can't hide behind it. Now, you do got some people that's still able to hide because they still got people around them that's willing to shield them with their own light. So, it is what it is. But for a lot of them, they're trying to find new sources of energy because, you know, they abuse the light energies in their life, and people are getting away from them. That's why this demotion went from being a spiritual demotion to a physical one. That's why it was allowed to manifest, because they couldn't save themselves via somebody else. See, when it was still in the spirit, when it hadn't taken form yet, they thought they had time. Like, oh, I can just, let me change my energy, let me upgrade, let me get around some people. But it's already played out. So meaning you already done had to get rid of that car. You already done had to sell that house. You already keep getting flat tires and keep, all of these things. Yeah, your interest rates going up. These things are already happening. You already being demoted in the 3D for the things that you've done in the spiritual world. It's already happening. Like I said, a couple people, bitch, you got lucky. Okay, you got lucky. But I will say this: people know, like, they do not want you as an enemy. They are realizing who the you really are. Okay. And a lot of them are hoping that there's some piece of you deep down that really still doesn't believe that you are who you are, so that you can blindly forgive them and help them to adjust their trajectory. So again, watch out for people that's preaching forgiveness. Because I'm gonna tell you something like this. Watch out for people who run into Christianity too. If anybody that's running to a different religion right now, get them up out of here. Don't pay them no mind. Okay? Because those were the people that was doing stuff behind the scenes and you just didn't know it. Okay? People run, especially to Christianity. A lot of narcissistic people do because of Christian concepts like forgiveness. Christians are taught to, you forgive your enemies. This is why your grandma's still coveting that pedophile, your I don't know if this is a word, pedophilic uncle that she be letting stay with her. This is why. This is why, because they practice forgiveness, and then they keep doing it and keep going to go get them out of jail. Just an endless cycle. This is why narcissistic people love Christianity. Okay, they love being forgiven. They love not having to suffer their own consequences of their actions. They love being able to blame something outside of themselves for their own bad behavior that they were consciously doing. Oh, it was the devil. Yeah, the one inside of you, babe. Your own devil. Shake hands with him. Okay? They love that. So watch out for anybody that's converting right now. Anybody that's converting right now, that's a damn telltale story. Or they quoting the Bible all of a sudden. Like, bitch, I know you fucking lying. Child, anyway. Your enemies, they really know you're not the one to fuck with right now. And a lot of them think that you just doing like witchcraft and all this stuff, and they have no idea that, like, girl, if I actually wanted to get in the field with you, it would be a wrap. Like, literally, don't have to do anything, but you don't have to do nothing but let them go. Very simple. You know, be stingy with your light. Be stingy with your resources. Be stingy, with your ideas. Make them realize that no, stand on your own. What can you create by yourself from your own thoughts? Stop mimicking the collective and then making it seem like you're the one that's out here in this high priestess energy and this empress or emperor energy. It's simply not true. Because if you was, you wouldn't be begging for forgiveness. I don't know none of the gods or goddesses that get on their knees and fucking beg for shit. I would never. Even if I was wrong, that would be between me and spirit. And I'm not above. I just apologized to somebody like maybe like a week ago. And because I was wrong. And I just stood on it. I sent the message out of the blue. She ain't asked for it. She ain't require it. I just did it. Because you know what? I was wrong. That was immature of me. And you deserve an apology for me and not from me. And I just did it. We ain't talked since, but there's no attachment to the outcome. I'm not looking for anything from her. Okay? That's how I know. If anybody is trying to force your forgiveness, it's because they're going through something. Genuine people don't got to do all of that. They ain't got to be all up and down the timeline, keep talking about forgiveness, and all that. That's some narcissistic Christian shit. And I, grew up Free Will Baptist Southern, so I still, identify with some of the principles, but I'm not religious. I don't live by it. I know it. It's a great foundation, but one that needs to evolve. But yeah, I grew up in the church, seen a lot. The church is full of, I hate to say it, but low key, like, bad people, criminals and shit. They're not good people. Simple. But anyway, collective, somebody figured out that you wasn't one of the ones to fuck with, and they wish they could go back in time and do something over, but they know that they can't. So it's like, even if we don't get along, which they would love to get along because they want, the benefit off of your light and the blessings that you have coming in, because we know the times have shifted and now we're, on a trajectory to be blessed the next 10, 20 years. That's how this works. And I keep hearing back then they ain't want me. It was all good when it was then. And now it's you. And now you have people, some people you don't even know, acting like they're scared of you. because of what they're witnessing someone who used to be around you or who used to engage with you go through. Death. For some of you, it's literal, like you're going to see people go up out of here. Or watch people who are consistently losing things and losing people around them. Okay? Watch out for that. So I'm going to leave this here. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, bye.